really, really fun. Like, especially, you know, this is our second Living Heritage event. It's a little bit more into the season now. Being at Burley is just incredible. And I love like the span they've got for all things that are gaming country. So, you know, they've got the shooting, the fishing, the dogs. My own dog's breeder is here. I'm doing the field and trial as well. They've got the horses. They've got really, really something for everyone. And I think it's amazing. Like, it's a huge show with all these different sections. Food's great as well. That's always a nice bonus as well. And then just the main arena events are really fun and exciting, and they get everyone involved as well. Just like an amazing show where there is something for everyone. You know, there's extreme sports, there's stuff you can cheer on, there's something for you to bring in the kids, the dogs, you know, there's something, literally everything at the show for someone to try, and it can be inspiring, it can be emotive, it can just be adrenaline packed and amazing, and yeah, it's just brilliant.
Lots of amazing food.
Lots of amazing food.
We're here now with Tim from Redback Boots, 100% Aussie clobber here at the Roxley Abbey Park. It's the Warwickshire Game and Country Fair, and you're also a sponsor of Horseboarding. How have you found that?
Well, that was a fortuitous event. A few years ago, the guys approached me. I love what they do. It's engrossing. The kids love it. It's action. It's right here. And they put me onto some of the stuff they do in Europe. And Gavin, who actually is the importer of Redback Boots, so I passed it on to Gavin, and we agreed that it's something that we would like to be involved with. And the guys do me a lot of good. When I attend the Living Heritage show, which I think really is all of them, then the guys are there supporting me, I'm there supporting them. So it's a good partnership.
Good. And what is it specifically that kind of makes the quality of a Redback boot stand out amongst all others? Because a lot of boots and workwear, yeah, what's the typical kind of buyer of a Redback boot? What are they looking for?
They're looking for quality. They're looking for a boot that they can work 12, 14 hours a day. Aussies are great at making boots. Everything is severe, so the boot has to stand up. Excuse the pun. That particular boot that we're displaying up there, that's the boot that's a military boot in Oz.
So that's the Cobar.
That's the Cobar, yeah. That's a very high spec boot, and if Australian military take that gives you some idea.
Yeah.
Over the years that I've been dealing with Redback boots, sales have gone up and up and up and up and up and up and up.
And what would you say to somebody who's looking at a pair of boots like that, and they're going to invest £160 in a pair of boots? I always think if you buy cheap, you buy twice. What would you say to somebody who's considering that investment? Why is Redback the brand?
I take it off them. I say you've got a year to hate them.
Yep.
If you do, send them back to me and I'll refund your money. No question.
That's brand confidence then. Absolutely.
And I say that with all of the boots that Gavin imports, and everything that I sell has been tried and tested by me, firstly. And I trust me.
Yeah. You've experienced it.
I have. The boots that I have on my feet are 7 years old. I do use the wax, and I use the wax regularly, and that is key to the leather. Leather is dead skin, so it has to be nourished.
Yeah.
And then it goes on and on and on. When the penny drops with my clients, they go, okay, Tim. That's why I have to do shows. That's why the Living Heritage events are crucial to me, because even customers that I've sold to 3 or 4 years ago, they say, Tim, I can't get 7 years out of them like you can. So when you don't wax them like I do,
yeah,
the penny drops.
Yeah. And they come back and find you at these shows.
They do. It's imperative I'm here. I'm not an internet seller. It's impossible for me to be an internet seller. I want to touch that client and explain and the advantages of the Redback boot. Anatomically, the boot is correct, so it gives you eye support. It gives you comfort. If you close your eyes and you walk from wet grass to tarmac, you will not tell the difference.
Yeah.
And I want that in my life.
Well, today what we've done is we've gone around and we've talked to a few of the traders that are here, and we've been focusing on the same thing: quality and experience that you can only get at Living Heritage shows. So, Tim, thank you for your time.
No, you're most welcome.
We love Redback Boots, and thank you for your sponsorship.
Thanks for stopping by. Bye, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello everybody, and welcome to what is going to be the fourth heat here at Sandringham Carriage Driving Festival of Carriage Driving even. We've just had heat 3. If you saw it, what a heat that was, Aidan.
And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It really was one of the best heats we've had all year. Contrails of sand everywhere, some big crashes, some massive speeds, even on a tighter arena. We got 30 miles an hour again, and some real competition going between all the teams from every category.
Yeah, I mean, look, talking about the intermediate, every category was points of seconds difference from intermediate, advanced, and elite. It was so close, nail-bitingly close.
We were shouting and screaming in the box, having some amazing time watching it, let alone people racing it, and the audience loved it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was, some of the races were breathtakingly fast and scary to watch. But overall, in the intermediates,
lots of changing of times. Every run, times were changing, but we ended up with Need for Speed again in first place, holding that position, and behind them we have Earned It, getting their best position so far of the season with Jolly Tom on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. They were in the fight, but the rest of the class was also right up behind them. And
with differences of 0.06 of a second.
At one point, yeah, it was also a 0.37 at one point. There was third place with going into the so Pandemonium in the intermediate came in third. They were only 1.9 seconds behind first place. Came unstuck coming out of the chicane. There was also a course warning pot at that coming out at exit of the chicane. I've just heard from Tom Kilroy that he would like actually you to go and speak to him before the next heat to assess the exit of the
chicane or the top end. There was quite a lot of rough stuff at the top end, so might be talking about there.
That sandy area he wanted to get some a second opinion on. So challenging arena as well. We knew that going in.
Yeah, so I went round on the e-board to start with, and I can tell you for a fact some of the sand traps and bunkers that are in there were bogging me down, and I had motors. So having a horse dragging you through that, the ground just didn't want to play ball with anybody on that course, and they did so well to get the times they were getting.
And you'll probably see in the next heat that's just about to start. I mean, we're so excited for this. The board riders suddenly changing positions when they hit those big plumes of sand coming out. In the advanced, we saw Send It Siblings put it away in one.
And amazingly smooth run as well. There was nothing wrong with that run at all, and they knew from that exit to the finish that they had made their time happily. That whole course.
And they just basically didn't need to do anything else. Hold Your Horses creeping up on them again, but it was
having a decent crash next to the commentary box.
Yeah, very much so. Who was the third place? Do you remember that one?
Third place, I couldn't tell you. There was so much changing the whole way through, and we had to jump out quickly. So knowing exactly where people were, it was so much changing.
I mean, the big one, I suppose, the big story was Just Drag. They fought their way into second place in the elite, their best position. And they're looking better with every run. The horse is looking better, the riding is looking better, the board riding, everything just seems to be gelling this weekend for them.
Best runs we've ever seen from that team.
And they did a phenomenal weave.
A phenomenal weave while dropping a load.
It was a great weave, the kind of which we haven't seen since Winston from the team of Chill Winston. That was it, Chill Winston.
I mean, I do think Harry's weave might have just pipped it. That's the fastest we've seen Harry go through. They generally take a lot of speed off on their weave. And didn't at all. It looked like they were coming into it too fast. Got through with millimetres to spare on every cone. So some great racing from them as well.
It was an absolute battle when it comes to horseboarding. So
230-mile-an-hours as well.
yeah, and a lot of other high speeds. Everything was going down. It was a dog fight out there. And now, of course, we're getting ready for Heat 4 here at the Carriage Sandringham Festival of Carriage Driving. And running the music, and I'm also joined by the chap that was on the electric board, Guinness World Record holder Aidan Beamish, previous board rider champion, and we have Miro running the live stream. Horses coming in, it's in the lead there, that is Just Wing It in the pink and grey. Followed by the team of Top and Tails, and behind those it is same as Siblings in the red. In the blue it is Ice Ice Baby. In black and fire, 1, 2. It is Hold Your Horses, followed by Earned It, Pandemonium, and Happy Little Accidents. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for all the teams of Horseboarding UK. So that's a really good start, ladies and gentlemen. You have a long, noisy show ahead of you, so it's good to warm up. Okay, so we're going to have each team gets 3 attempts at the twisting turning course. It's only their fastest time that counts. It's 1 second if they knock a ball from a cone or a pole. It's 4 seconds if they miss a gate. So just an adjustment. Test. And it sounds like I can go back in the box. Each heat is worth 10 points. If you come first in one heat, it's worth 10 points. Over the course of the weekend, there's a maximum of 40 regular points. There is also some bonus points for the fastest run in the first and second rotation. However, those points can be lost, and to be honest, it's very complicated and difficult to explain.
It gets quite complicated at times.
But what we are looking at is Ice Baby, Coma Not Forgotten has 20 points over the course of the weekend. This is the intermediate.
There we go, I'm back on again. So yeah, we didn't really talk about it. We have intermediate, we have the... Test.
Yeah, we have the intermediate, advanced, elites. This is an elite team. It is Just Wing It. Their biggest competition was racing in Prague at the O2 Arena, part of the Longines Global Champions Tour, where they won the first evening, coming 3rd overall after the 4 days. 24 miles an hour into the first turn. It's a net rush on the horse. The horse,
Good one down first, get a time on the board and push on from there. We've had to change this bottom end so it's tying it right up. So this is new lines, new runs for all these teams. So we're going to see how it plays out here. Tom planting hard into that corner there. Now this tight 90 degree that was that big slide on the back end there.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a now coming for the 3-cone weave. Horse one side, board rider the other side. They're going to swap and swap again. Two, one where it's needed, but now they can throw that to the wind. 24 miles an hour once again as they make the far end of the arena and for the finish line. Ladies and gentlemen, call them home on this fast run for their opening gambit. Yeah, I used fast, cautiously.
In the grouping it would be a fast.
Generously.
For their own run that we've seen so far this weekend, I would put it a steady fast.
Yeah, no, I think I use fast, generous in the crazy fast category. So here we go, it is the team of Earned It. Earned It.
Second place on their last run. Tom, a very experienced mountain boarder, running on there, opening the taps at 20 miles an hour from this team on their first run. This is great to see. They really want to challenge for top position, Dan.
Yeah, so these are in the intermediate class.
I mean, bouncing all over the place. You think with sand it would be really soft, but the ground is bouncing jolly. They nearly went for the advanced course there. The tighty here, pushing onto the speed.
It also sounded like he was laughing like the Joker. 16 miles an hour as they go through that corner and making away. The kind of crazy, insane laugh that somebody must have if they're towed behind a horse on a mountain board.
Yeah, for sure. And that is a great run from them. They had a little bit of a mistake on that bottom corner, but actually held it together as a team.
Not the rest. By 4 meters, it's kind of awkward. But still, we often try to make it as open as possible, don't we?
Yeah, but with a time of 50.28, that is a great run from that team.
Yeah, so now here we have Need for Speed. They are currently winning the weekend for the interview.
So far, we've seen them hitting 20 to make sure the course is right for them, and it's a smart move.
And as well, of course, they've just been told there is a course warning, so they've gone out and gone, okay, let's have a look at this and make sure I know where I want my horse to go, and explain to the horse where the way is now.
And Joe working hard in that soft sand there.
Did well to get back up there, but of course that's part of the warning. That's exactly what we're saying.
And the speed, the slower speed, you have to turn so much harder, but if you turn into sand, it just disappears from underneath you.
Yeah, so making their way now towards the speed trap, throttle opening up a little bit, 18 miles an hour, feeling that little bit more confident about the bottom end of the course as they work their way up through the double gates of Bruco Marketing and into the finish line. A perfect, clean run with a 58.25, puts them in second place, earned it. Currently in first. Okay, so now it is the team of Strike Oppose. These are in the advanced. They are in the advanced. I keep getting this one mixed up.
There's so many teams now. It's great to see, but it is causing some communication errors here with what category people are in.
Yeah, so Strike Oppose again, Scott, and it is Thomas Gent on the board. This team's been developing quite nicely this season, and that's Burley House. Last month they arrived here this weekend. The pony was a little bit excitable, and I think they've taken a bit more time just to bring the horse back into the same wavelength as the other members, and sometimes this is just what you have to do.
And that is part of the way build. You have to work together to get the team together. But they're on a 39 on the split down. That is not bad for these guys from what we've seen so far. That is a time of 58.05. Great run from them. We've seen them schooling all weekend, and now they're finally starting to open the taps on that. Advance really biting at their tail at the moment. But this is a team that likes to go fast on their first run, so get ready for some speed.
Yeah, send it
corner down through the stuff.
Sitting down behind the board, perfectly pushing it round.
And this is going to be tight. Hedge now into the 90. This was sharp, quick, really nice slide into that corner there. Just relaxing now across towards the weekend. They've 0.51 and a clear round. That is a dominant start to this heat.
And that's what they've had to do. They've been watching Hold Your Horses catch up with them and look threatening. Hold Your Horses don't have enough experience, or the same experience as siblings, but the siblings know that Hold Your Horses are coming for them.
It's the first time they've had somebody really and not have to build the speed. But coming out the fastest we've seen from this team so far. A little bit here from that soft sand pack.
Yeah, this is where, so in the advanced course you'll notice they're doing slightly different courses. Each class is a slightly more technical course as they move up the table.
35 on the split there, Dan.
And making their way towards the speed trap at 15 miles an hour. Oh, call him home, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long weekend. The sun has been beaming down. We are very grateful for the dim sun today, though, as we go through the finish line with a time of
54.65 with a clear round. That was great from them, and it's lovely to hear the audience even from here cheering on teams. That's great to hear. We love to hear it. We really do. The riders and the boarders hear you cheering, so keep behind these teams, please.
Yeah, so we have now Ice Baby. Currently, over the course of the weekend, we've got 25 points. Of course, the board rider, Georgia Evans, struggling somewhat yesterday with a heavy dose of man flu, which took him away from the boarding, but he was still working.
He looked very grey.
Yeah. And of course, as you know, man flu is the most dangerous thing that you can possibly get. So 16, but he survived. He's back on the board now, so you don't need to worry. But he's just getting over the last of it.
to see a grey person also burnt though, Dan. It's definitely an interesting tone of colours.
Yes, well, you know, he is actually a computer programmer by trade.
Very good one.
Yeah, but not known for their athletic ability as a breed. Going into the far end of it, but great work here by Izzy Howell on the horse. Horse is Tara, previously an elite horse, but has been declassified down. And with this board rider, of course, now the board rider is the limiting factor with this team at the moment. 13 miles an hour as they build their gel.
Yeah, definitely. I had a chat with George before, and he was talking about getting a rundown to start with and then building from there, and just saying to her, look, let's just go for it. So this is their flat run for the finish. There's a bit of pace. Look at the board wiggling underneath George there.
Don't stand up too quickly, George.
With a time of 61.72. George, keep those knees bent all the way across that finish line, sir.
It's the curse, isn't it? You do it. When you're racing, you'll be on the board, your legs getting tired, you go over the finish line, flat out, and stand up instantly.
Stand up and it all goes over. But coming in now, we have
Hold your horses.
And I'm not telling them to hold their horses, they're going to go away with this polo pony. Nice considered start here, actually. We've seen them launch out a little bit more at 19 miles an hour. Obviously wanting to test the track before they start putting down their big run.
Ash on the board there. Ash Williams took. We have a buzzer.
We have a buzzer.
So you don't have to make the noise.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Found the buzzer button, everybody.
I was having to make the noise myself. I quite enjoyed it, actually.
Okay, so here we go with Pandemonium. Now, these guys have been doing very well, but they did separate ways quite dramatically.
Tom ended up being the crux for their final run, so it looks like they take a bit more chill run. I think that's a good idea. This team started with us this weekend. They've been in second place already.
And my personal advice would be, don't try and run the horse too much on this now. She's done really well, and you know, honest, I say to you, yeah, she's done all the work you've asked of her. There's nothing. You don't want her to finish thinking that it's going to be all about galloping around.
She's not going to wrong, is she?
No, I would take it easy, get the horse's mind out of the race before you go home.
But there's still some pace here. It's not like they're sitting on their laurels at all. There is some pace to it. They're just off from the pace that they showed us before.
Yeah, and this is perfect what they're doing. Yeah. Of course, we're not riding, so 17 miles an hour, and it looks like at the end of the day, we didn't come here to flop around. We came here for a race, and then for the finish line, a round of applause for Pandemonium.
I love to hear that pony running. The noise of its hooves on the ground.
War horse.
It is a war horse.
Okay then, so with a time of 53.05, that brings them, I'm seeing second place, so it's come down. So second place for them at the moment. They are 2.8 seconds away from earned it in first. Now, here we have the team of Just Drag.
So I've heard from this team, Dan, they are so happy with what they've done so far this weekend. They don't want to over-egg Rolo, they don't want to cause any problems, so they are going to do a relaxed run. So don't worry, this is the Norway fast team. They've been amazing this weekend, hitting 230-mile-an-hour, but they're so happy with the way the horses perform. They don't want to over-egg it, so they're going to do a slower run.
Yeah, so 12 miles an hour there, and that is the question, isn't it? These guys have really found a fifth gear, sixth gear this weekend. We saw them, they've raced the best racing they've actually done ever, but certainly this season. And they've gone from being a real chaotic group of elements, three elements that weren't gelling or working together in any way. They just
managing to get round,
fighting against each other almost. And they've gone up to the point where Rolo really does better at the higher speed.
Yeah.
And he seems to carry himself so much better and become more alive. Whereas often, I think before they were getting into a bit of a fight over it, and of course then that has an effect on the board rider, because the board rider now, you've not got a solid platform to race.
You don't know whether you're getting pulled or stopped or what's going on, but
or where the horse is going to be. You can't read the horse, and to think of this, ladies and gentlemen, as a board rider just being towed by, you know, a horse and a rider, and to think that they're not three brains working as one is completely wrong. The board riders are very invested in the horses. They learn about the horses.
The cheer from the crowd there, even if they're going slow to get behind them. For sure.
I mean, Emily's going to be very happy. They've got 230 miles an hour this weekend, and came second place in this morning's heat.
Easily their highest position so far, but they've also retired now as well. So they've also retired the next 2 runs. They said that was they're going to do a slow run for Rolo and retire from there. So we won't see them again this afternoon. So give them a round of applause.
Well, congratulations. They've had a great weekend. They just wanted to. They've done enough. They're happy with that. And that's the official story. That's the one they're sticking with. They definitely didn't bottle it.
No, I actually had Emily in my camp earlier telling me that she didn't want me to upset her, saying how slow they were going and how she was going to get penalised. So she did pre-warn me.
112, so she broke the 100-second rule.
Yeah, she knew she was going to do it.
Oh, okay, so in which case we'd have lost the run anyhow, but here we go, there we go.
So here we go with Core Intent, a new team for this weekend, but with some older of the crew. We've got Reese Wagner, who we haven't seen for a while, back this weekend, and Sue Scott, who's been with us for a long time as well. This team is a very knowledgeable team of this sport.
Yeah, and interesting how this team was formed. Reese recently coming back to the sport after a long break of about 5 years or so. 5, 6 years, and did a little bit of riding with Sue, and then they went to the yard and spotted this horse in the field.
Said, what about that one?
And little did the horse know.
35 on the split there, Dan. Apple, yeah, which is the Core Intent side. And she was just sitting there happily munching grass, and now here she is.
14 miles an hour. Not really testing this previously elite board rider who absolutely used to tear the fields up. But a great run. A round of applause for the team off Striker Pose with a time of 53.80. Sorry, Core Intent. Sorry, I got mixed up with Sue Scott. So 53.
Beating Striker Pose's time there.
0.80. Puts them into first place. Not going anything like that.
Gremlins in the box. We've got lots of electrical gremlins that like to happen in this box, ladies and gentlemen. So we're playing it by ear at the moment on positions, but stick with us. We're coming in now. TNT, one of the top teams we've been battling for years. This little ex-showing pony, get behind them because they are launching over that Stargate.
Oh, 25 miles an hour into the first team for Top and Tails. This team's biggest international race was in Denmark in 2020.
She was tight on that cone down.
Danish Warmblood Stallion show. Now they have been in a head-to-head fight with Just Wing It.
Oh, Josh down, can he hold it? Yes, he can. The whole board went the wrong way. Kicked underneath him. Can he hold it here? Getting out wide. Pulls it in again. Where are they on the split time? 27 on the split. That is a great split from what we've seen so far.
You've got to think they're thinking they can take advantage of this slightly smaller ring.
Without a doubt.
With a smaller horse, they can duck and dive far better than the bigger X-Race
This is what it comes down to. Can they hold this weave together? They had a miss and a touch earlier. Can they get it clean? 1, 2, 3, and they're through. Now it's just a flat road race for the finish, and this little pony can go. Get behind them as it comes past you, ladies and gentlemen. Scream this horse on.
Whoa, Oaks did a lot of work there to keep that board upright. Call them home. 26 miles an hour and accelerating through that corner all the way forward.
Just hold it.
They're looking for first place. The time is 66.14. The gauntlet has been thrown.
Now we saw a 65 from Just Wing It this morning, 1 second off, but with this tighter course and the bigger horse, can they get through with this tight section at the bottom there?
Yeah, so that means that Top and Tails go into first place with a massive lead of 4.8 seconds over Just Wing It. Just Wing It is going to have to respond, but before they do, it is section 89. This team is just waiting for its moment. The horse is Adelita, and when I say, ladies and gentlemen, she is a fighter jet in horse form.
You wait until that head drops.
Yeah, it's the first horse I've ever seen to have 4 gears after gallop. Now,
there we go.
How are they going to manage in this arena? Going 23 miles an hour, because of course it's not all just about the horse. They're all
down already. On that end. Is there something wrong with his board?
That seemed very odd. All of a sudden, tipped out the back end. Not like that from Oren. We've seen really steady boarding from this guy and some real shapes made to save crashes. That was not what you expect from Oren at all.
I would. That's my first thought was the
check that board.
Yeah, check the board because it just seemed like
just tipped out the back.
I know it.
Very bizarre.
Unless it was a bit of sand or something that popped him back up, or we'll get a report as he runs past the commentary box.
That's very odd. We don't see that from Oren. I've never seen a crash like that.
It's so frustrating for Section 89. Last year here at the Sandringham Game and Country Fair in September, they put down one of the best runs of the season, and absolutely just really did well. He says he doesn't know. That's a shame. So yeah, they put. But here we go now. Here it is. It is Just Wing It, looking to take first place back from Top and Tails, who they have been fighting with all weekend. And you can see that they're going to have to respond.
They have to respond.
Their fastest time early was 65, and that was a devastatingly fast run.
But on a slightly wider course down there,
the arena was in better condition at that point.
28 miles an hour into this top corner. Tom hitting that rust up. Oren just got popped out from with a hillside corner. Maybe you can sit harder onto that hillside edge than the toes at the moment. Whole way round, that was one big corner from the speed trap to the diagonal.
Beautiful, that's how you got to do it. It's a perfect way. Let up a little bit there. Tom got into a little bit of trouble, but he's pulled himself back up. Managed to get the board back underneath him. He's on a toe side turn there, which benefits him into this corner again.
Split time 28. They are 1 second off what TNT just said. We saw them at 27. This is 28. They're going to have to put it down on this weave. 19 miles an hour, a mile off what we've just seen. They've got to get this weave clean, crisp, and clear.
They've done some good weaves this weekend.
1, 2. One touch to add. Can they bring it back with the speed of this pony? Tom on the inside, hitting all the rust up, taking an extra gate because the course is so tight.
Let's call them home, ladies and gentlemen. 27 miles an hour. Average speed is way up there. And the final turn, Tom sitting into that board. Everything he's got for the finish line. A round of applause. What a run.
With a time of 65.21 with one touch to add.
Makes it 66.28, which means that Top and Tails stay in first place. A big round of applause for Just Wing It, who are in second place by the whopping 0.1 of a second. The difference between first and second, 0.1.
Is that the limit of this tight course, Dan? Is that it?
I mean,
it's 65.
They did the 6, but now it's tightened up. It's a bit rougher. The board riders are having more trouble
There's
than
more
they were
drag.
this morning.
The boarders are going to be dragging more as well.
Yeah, but they're in there. The 0.1 of a second difference.
They can just clean that weave up. If they can just clean that weave up. Oh, and we have a dummy run from this team. Happy with their first run. Happy to just sit out here.
So a retirement from the second run from Earns It. They're still in the competition. They are currently in first place. So they're putting, it's a tactical thing, they're putting the pressure on the other teams to respond.
The speed, but he hasn't actually put down a fast run yet.
Okay then, so if Tom Kilroy is about, we could use you if you've got a minute.
They're coming in now, as I said, need for speed. The team that has been battling out and holding first most of the weekend. They did a considered run to see what the ground was like, to see what the course was like. Definitely not putting down their fastest pace, so we'll see if this pace comes up now.
Yeah, they are in third place. They are 8 seconds behind second place, and another 2.8, so just over 10 seconds from first. Now they're picking up the pace. Here we go. They've had a look, 20 miles an hour, and now they're going to see what this little pony has left in the tank after the weekend that we've had.
But yeah, there's a long weekend, been a long old weekend for this team. You can see the pace has come up from what we saw earlier in the heat. Definitely letting a little bit of steam out, letting the pony go. It is a 20-year-old pony, older than the rider on top of it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a first, I think. The horse is older than the person riding it, so you've got to get give it for this hot, long weekend. She's given it her all, and they're just not pushing her too hard here. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, call them home. It is Chloe on the saddle, 16 years old, Joe Betts on the board, and I don't know the player's name either. Do you know that?
I do not. I just know the age.
Oh, I thought you might know the sire, the grandsire.
I knew the mum once. Met her on a dark alley. Coming in now, we have striker pose. We saw them opening up the taps a little bit more than we've seen before. Happy that striker himself is happy to be racing a bit more, so we'll see what Sue is happy to do with this horse. Oh, a huge amount of slack there.
No. And release.
That's a shame. That's a real shame. Just hit this rough patch on the inside. So boarders, just be aware, on the inside of the starting race gates, there is a real soft patch. A real soft patch for sure. So that's the same. They didn't cross the start line, so what will happen is they'll get put back into the rotation and join back in. If you cross the start line, then it will mean that if you cross the start line, it means you started the race and you fall. You can't complete that race. If you fall off in the start gates before you go across the start line, you get to restart. You get put back into the rotation and you can have another go.
Yeah, now you only get one more restart. It's only in a rotation. One more opportunity. Yeah, because
It makes sense. It does make sense.
Yeah, but you're right, absolutely right. Now here we go. This is Send It Siblings currently leading.
Josh has been doing an ollie. Nice to see it.
So they are.
He's just jumping over the lumps. Just jumping over the rough stuff by the looks of it.
They are also retiring from the second race. Again,
Yeah, they're just doing a dummy run, making Josh work extra hard, even though he's got TNT to do later. He's not sure why he's here. Shaking his head. I've got to go round again, and it's going to be quicker. Brown-eyed girl. You're my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing la 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 la, just like that?
sorry, we've got a few things going on here. Ice Baby making their way into the arena. Second rotations often show a few. And it is now Ice Baby making their bid for this second rotation. Currently sitting further down the table. They've got everything to work for. 19 more and let go there. And a release. Okay then, so that's it. That just looked like he gave up. It looked like he was just feeling a bit tired.
How you have grown. Cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I'm overcome thinking about making love in the green grass behind.
Okay, so this is the team of Hold Your Horses. Okay, so this is the team of Hold Your Horses, and they are making their way up to the start line. Ash has taken a few hits this weekend. But interestingly, the end of that arena seems to, which doesn't look like there's anything
20 miles an hour down into that end of the arena, and I've just been up there. It looks fine, but the ground is quite deceptive. There's a little bit of a convex. There's a slight curve to the arena, so as you go over that, your weight and release. Oh, that was quite a bad crash. Can we check on Ash?
Okay.
No, she's all right. Thumbs up.
Okay, a round of applause for Hold Your Horses there.
They're definitely trying for best crash of the season, I'm sure. Big round of applause to Ash. I think it's just a bit of a knock to her own riding.
There will be a yellow card issued for the release based on a video review to decide whether or not it could have been avoided. I'm not convinced because I think the board rider took the handle around the pole and then flicked the handle. Now, as you may have seen there, the handle came quite close to the horse's legs. There's a couple of elements of that. 99 times out of 100, as long as you keep the horse moving forward, the rope will come off. We've only, in the years that we've been doing over 10,000 individual races, we've only ever had to remove a rope from a horse. Yeah, 2 or 3 times, maybe 3 times.
Okay, I only remember 2. I remember being involved in one quite vividly with my horse.
And each one, exposed to different.
It was a freak actually.
Yeah.
That's what it often ends up, and that's why we've got so many safety features here for that specific reason. The whole point of this sport is for the horses. We've got to make sure they're happy. But where do we have 20 miles an hour from
Pandemonium?
Great to see. They're really pushing on down.
It's exactly how I described this commentary box as Pandemonium.
It really is.
To go across the far end of the arena into Redback Boots, one of our staunch supporters of horseboarding.
Great boots. Great boots.
Yeah, they've supply often for us.
Good line here. Tom having an interesting control of that rope. Really interesting, holding up at the far end of the rope. And 18 miles an hour into that top corner. That's quick. Tom really on the toe edge, going through the rust up. Can he keep it together here for the finish line? Pushing on from this team. Really, look at the front of this pony go. What a run.
Well
with the time of 47 and a 0.82.
And Pandemonium will go into first place. A great
For their first racing week, they've just put themselves in place, Dan, and I love this horse already. I think there's so much progression for this team that can carry on like this. That horse is one of my favourites.
And now earned it have a target. They know that 47.82 seconds is the target that they've got to go for. Now this is the horse of the team of Apple.
Core intent. Core intent. Every time. You lost that one. The core intent, and looks like they're pushing on here. Look, a bit more intent on the riding itself. Reese bouncing through that soft stuff. What time, what speed? 19 miles an hour. Pushing on a little bit. We saw a 17 before, so they are pushing forwards with this pony. But as I say, she came out of the field and here she is racing. Great to see from that pony. Really happy to be here.
Yeah, Reese may have had a break, but he's obviously got an eye for it. This pony.
It's a bit like a like. You don't lose it.
Yeah, he's developing nicely. He's having to work a little bit into there. Said he was absolutely loving this weekend as he goes through the chicane now, digging into the heel side to avoid this corner in front of the commentary box and into the 90-degree split time. One penalty to
on the split with one touch.
Which now towards the speed trap they go. Currently
14 miles an hour around the top end, and are they going to push on for the finish here? You can see Sue giving the pony a bit of rein, letting her out, and Reese still looking very chilled on the back.
And through the finish line with a time.
Wait for a manual
It's
time.
a manual time. 51.07.
51.47 with a touch to add. I believe that puts them into second place.
Yeah, now, top and tails, they put a really strong run down first. They got a 66. They are in the lead by 0.1 of a second.
Yeah,
they've got nothing to do. They are handing the gauntlet back to Just Wing It and saying, you've got to beat me now.
So Josh is on 2 teams that have taken first place on their first run, and now he's had to get dragged around the arena for no reason.
Yeah, so this is the tactics, ladies and gentlemen. This is what they're trying to do. They will...
I love a tic-tac.
This third rotation will be where it will kick off most likely. If when Just Wing It comes out, they're going to be forced to try and beat that 66-14. But if they do, then Top and Tails will be forced to come out and race again.
Coming in now, we have section 89. We saw an interesting, strange fall from Orange. He said he wasn't sure what it was, but he could be something to the border. I'm sure he would have checked it over. Maybe he just hit a weird sand patch and wasn't in the right line, but I'm sure they're going to want to put that to bed on this top corner now.
Yes, and again, they've just been hitting these weird problems with this team.
It's such a new team, Dan. Actually, this seems like a really, really set elite team, but this is the first year they've actually had this whole combination as a team. So they are essentially a novice elite team. So they're really having to put stuff together and work together. 24. It looked like it was going to go up to 5 on that top end. Can Orin hold it here? Yes, this is better. They've got past that section. Orin looking right out on the edge. Arm right at the edge. Can he ride it back down? Yes, he can. What a bit of boarding there. He lost his balance on that back edge, and it just nearly tipped him out. Held it well through the rust up here. You can see how hard he's having to push the board. He was sliding again. Look how hard he's pushing his toe side edge into the ground, ripping the ground up.
Split time.
28 on the split, 28-29 with the other team. This is a fight for first place. If they can hold it together, 17, a mile an hour off what we saw from TNT. But if they keep this weave clean, they can put themselves between TNT and Just Wing It.
I've got to be honest, I am nervous, really nervous as we go into this. Oh,
One
what?
touch. Release. Unfortunate there. You could just see as the touch happened, Orin sat back a little bit heavy and got too much pull on the rope as he came to that last cone. He wasn't in the right line before the pull came. What a shame.
A round of applause for section 89. They're really showing their skill and just pulled it out of his hand. You've got to imagine, ladies and gentlemen, as they come through the weave, if the horse hits the end of the handle very strong, it's pulling your arm off. It's pulling your arm
Actually, but that action is what caused my wrist to break. Launched me out the back and then snapped my wrist on the backside. When you're going at that speed, as you ladies and gentlemen probably do, you've got horses, and you know when that horse is in a wet, soggy field and doesn't want to go where you want to go, you're not going the opposite direction.
Okay, so just wing it now, entering the arena, calling first place. They need to find 0.1 of a second. That's all they need. Is 0.1 of a second.
Just don't touch the cone.
And they are away. This is going to be, they know they've got to throw it at this. 27 miles an hour. Ford squirreling around underneath him. But he's managing, look, the way he's controlling that, surfing the power of the horse, converting it down the rope, through his body and into those tyres, as and whilst the ground changes, lots of sand kicking up there, now into the chicane.
Planting into that top side as we come for the split time. Where are they at? 27 on the split. I couldn't see, unfortunately, Layla's
massive bit of work there. He's just lifted his hand up and burning his fingers. No gloves, 18 miles an hour. Okay then, this is where we're going to come to this 3-cone weave.
You've got to get it clean, Dan. This is the biggest part. If they can get through this clean, it will make all the difference. 1, 2, 3, and then clean, crisp and clear. That was a quick weave. Now they've got to push on. Tom's got to stay with it. The power's going to come on in this corner. Is he ready for it? Bouncing that front truck all over the place. Yes, he is. What's the speed?
Home, ladies and gentlemen,
27. Good average the whole way round. Speeding up round this top end.
Oh, they're getting... Oh, no!
And he's down. And release. It was just too much. I was going to say on this run, it's been a while since we've seen Tom go down, and there it was. There was nothing left of grip for those tyres. It just went from underneath him, and when it goes like that, you can hold onto the rope all you want, but the inertia is going to take you out eventually.
Yeah, so absolutely.
It would have been a 64.53 clear round, which would have put him into first place, but unfortunately, he did not cross the line.
Yeah, but well-deserved round of applause there, pushing the absolute limit and finding the absolute edge. That was just like you say, there's nothing more of those tyres. Those tyres couldn't work any harder. The horse was just giving him so much power to convert that it just lost it.
Hit the horse poo.
Oh, he's blaming.
It was like a banana on a Nintendo.
Yeah.
Somebody's thrown bananas on the course.
I've heard that story before.
Yeah, not sure.
Okay, so here we go. It's the team of earned it. They need to get a 47.81 basically.
19, 20 miles an hour, fastest we've seen so far from this team, pushing on. And this is a dressage pony. You can see how it flicks the toes, but still running at some pace.
Yeah, previously learning how to run, I described this.
Yeah, definitely. It's not seen it before, and now it's enjoying it.
Yeah, now in through Redback they go. They've had a really good weekend so far, and lots of encouragement, lots of support. We like that. They are
31 seconds on the split, so if they keep this pace up, they could be on to first place, Dan.
0.59 of a second.
Miles an hour.
That's all they need. 0.959 of a second.
The crowd's behind you. Come on, push on for the finish line.
Tom's having to do a bit of work on the board through the finish line
with a time of 47.77.
And with that, earned it go back into first place. I am reading that correctly. 47.77.
And the difference is 0. No, it's not updated for us.
They are 3.1 seconds ahead. Pandemonium still have another run.
So they are 0.16 of a second behind.
So Say that again, sorry.
0.16 of a second behind Pandemonium.
Amazing, amazing. So that's all. No, ahead. Pandemonium
ahead.
get in front.
Pandemonium need that to get into first place again. There's too many changes going on.
15 miles an hour from the team of Strike Oppose. Thomas Gent on the board. This is the second horse, and Stu Scott making their way across the arena. And the horse Striker looking a lot more with it, I would say, with the team now, not contesting the turn or the speed or anything.
It seems like he's now realised, okay, you are in charge.
Yeah,
we'll go where the speed you want.
We will do this at this pace, and I'm not going to fight you. And this is the moment, ladies and gentlemen, once you come past this moment where you can go, okay, now you're with me. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. And interesting again, Tom's still sitting on this very inside line of his ponies. I know at this speed it's not going to cause problems, but as the speed builds, if he sits on that inside, he's going to get swung out and launched at some point.
Yeah, good bit of work here. Time on the clock, 60 seconds at the moment. They had a slightly steadier run. A round of applause for Strike Oppose there with a time of 62.73 and completed and clean, I believe. Clear run.
Clear run. Well, coming in now, we have Send It Siblings sitting in first place quite happily at the moment, so we'll see what they're going to do here.
Yeah, 62.73, that was what we got there. Now, okay, so here we are. It is Send It Siblings in first place. They've got full speed trap run.
Josh bouncing the truck over that rough stuff.
Absolutely thundering at 24 miles an hour into the first turn.
And
it's a speed trap run. And they're just victory lapping it now, ladies and gentlemen. They've won the weekend. I'm seeing 43 points. Tom Kill.
Yeah, Thomas to the commentary box, please. Thomas to the commentary box.
Okay then, so here we go. It is Ice Baby. Okay, Ice Baby currently.
We've got all sorts of gremlins here in the box. Little electrical gremlins that come in and don't like to help us.
Oh, the board rider's down. Sorry, guys, really are.
And unfortunate, that looks like he's on the start, so they will get to reload. As I said earlier, if you crash before you cross the start gate, you get to reload into the pack and do your run again, so you'll have another chance to come out. You can just see how hard it is at those slow speeds in that soft sand. It just goes away from you. You can't do anything about it, unfortunately, because the way the board works is by pushing down on the edge of the board, it turns the trucks. But if you're pushing into the ground and there's no hard ground there, the wheels just move and the trucks don't turn. So you can see how difficult it is, even Ash coming out now, jumping the truck around because the ground underneath her isn't giving her any solid footing to turn.
Yeah, and also as well, the trucks are tight.
Yeah, tight for speed.
So to prevent the speed wobble, so you can't really make those tight turns at slow paces. So it's a bit of a combination. How do you find the balance? Hold your horses 19 miles an hour into this turn now. Ex-Polo pony, High Gold, as under his numeral, and it is
Ash on the board.
Ash Williams on the board. Has been on the horse. Okay, so making a
Really rushed up there. You can see how much it's dragging the board from the Ash, having to push that board forwards underneath. All it wanted to do is pull that board behind you. Big slide there on the 90-degree split time at 32 on the split. Another nice corner here, really having to plant that board and arm into the ground. Coming into the speed at 19, good average. Can she hold it round here? Don't let that board bounce you over that front edge. Pulling hard on that corner. Risky move, but she's held it well. Get the horse through the line. They're smiling and laughing the whole way through. Oh, and a crash. Exactly what we said. As you cross the line, everybody stands up, and that's a crash. But she got across the line. So with a time of 50.26 seconds, Hold Your Horses goes into second place, knocking Happy Little Accidents down into third.
Okay, so
They will be happy their last run of the last heat puts them into second place.
yeah, 6.8 seconds behind Sended Siblings. That would have been a very clever move to have saved all that run until the end.
Well, as you say, often when you get to the finish lines, we see these teams standing up, happy that they got across the course, but in standing up, you lose your balance very quickly. But coming in now, Pandemonium, a team that should be knocked off first place by Earned It, with only about 0.62 of a second to gain. So they themselves can do it as well. If they can push on from the start, give themselves a bit more pace, they can take first back from Earned It on their last run. So here we go, for the speed at 21 miles an hour from this team, fastest we've seen so far. I think fastest Tom's gone on course. Look at the rough stuff planning, wheels in the air. Can he get round? This rough course is causing so many problems with his borders. There's a cut across the diagonal, nice little line there, keeping the team together. Tom's on the outside, that's a much better line through this rough stuff. Now they come around this bottom corner, big, long, sweeping corner into this rough stuff again. It's just rough everywhere. 90-degree split time, 29 on the split. Tom working really hard, that back tuck, fighting him the whole way. Now if they can push on for the finish at 17 miles an hour, Tom planning again, keep the pony going forwards and they might get it. Can Tom hold on for the finish, call them home as they come for the finish line? How's it going to be? Wow, with a time with 45.37, and I have the with a 45.37, that puts Pandemonium into first place on their last run, and Earned It could do nothing about it. What a run from that team, with about 2 seconds difference. What a run, that team's got so much potential for the future, Dan.
Okay, so now we're back with the big boys. In the elite, it is Top and Tails. They are
Section 89 that can challenge them now.
There's only section, 89 that can challenge them. They've got the lead. They are looks like they're racing. It looks like they're going to gamble.
Having to hold on hard
for the speed trap. At least, well, it was 26 miles an hour into this turn as they make their and withdrawing.
Yeah,
it is a speed trap run. Okay then, so 26 miles an hour was that.
The only team coming in now on their last run, section 89, they've not put a time down yet. They are the only team that can change the scoreboard now. The amount of pressure on this team, but they have already said this season they know they're not going to win the season. This is about getting the team in the right position for next season.
And we often see this with the gel, with the team. When a team they get that perfect gel, then all of a sudden they it's just they can become streets above. If you look at the way Just Wing It are racing this year, they've just been years building and building and building, and this year they've got that gel and it's elevated them. These guys have all the elements and moments of absolute genius.
Yeah, for sure.
But the championship, you know what? There's points here today in this heat that they're racing for. 23 miles an hour.
Yeah, they're taking the pace off, I think, but maybe off Orange choosing, because if they can keep a constant pace, they will still keep those times up. Those fast-paced top-end speeds, you're going to have to slow down, and the ground here does not allow that to happen. Orange working so hard again. The planning on that back leg, his back leg must be absolutely burning. Last run of the weekend, everything is screaming at him. Hands are tired, legs are burning, dust in the eyes. He is working as hard as he can. Get behind this team. It is the last run you will see this weekend. 19 miles an hour.
Brilliant work. Now we need for this weave and the final lap. They're currently 44 seconds on.
One cone down, can they get through? 2 cones down, but they are through. That doesn't matter. 2 touches is fine for them. They want a time on the board. Don't let the board lift you up there, Oren. He's gone high and wide, but he's got it back through the rough stuff again towards the speed.
These sand pits make it very
25 miles an hour in this top end, the fastest we've seen them on it. Look at the board wiggling underneath it. Can he hold it for this last corner? Planting as he does. Draw the line. Yes, they do. They get across with a time of 69.29 with 2 touches to add. Will make it a 71.29, and there is the whistle. Puts them into 3rd place.
Okay then, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go through the tables, bringing the teams in as we do it. So in the intermediate class, we have in
4th place with Cone but not Cohn, but not forgotten, have retired from this heat.
So it's Ice Ice Baby in 4th. It is Need for Speed in 3rd. Earned It in 2nd, and Pandemonium in 1st from the intermediate category.
This category we have. Unfortunately, don't know these times the box isn't working for me, but in 3rd place we have Happy Little Accidents. In 2nd place we have Hold Your Horses, and in 1st for the weekend we have Send It Siblings.
And then in the elite, so this is for this heat. In the elite for this heat, it is Just Drag in 4th, Section 89 in 3rd, Just Wing It in 2nd, and Top and Tails in 1st.
Just Wing It's first loss of the season, Dan.
As the guys line up for you now, we're going to start dishing out the trophies and the rosettes, and which have been generously given to us by the show as well as our own units. For the intermediate, in 5th place is Cohn but not forgotten with 20 points, who retired before this heat. In joint 3rd place, it is Earned It and Ice Ice Baby with 31 points. We'll split the difference after the show with the fastest time of the weekend.
In 2nd place we have Pandemonium
with 34 points, and over the course of the weekend for the intermediates with 42 points, it is Need for Speed.
They're over in the pits. They're just keeping an eye on Connie. A big cheer for them. They're a good crowd over there.
Okay then, so okay. In
joint 4th place we have Striker Pose and Happy Little Accidents with 26 each. In 3rd place we have Core Intent with 32. In 2nd place we have Hold Your Horses with 36, and taking the weekend with a storming 44 points we have Send It Siblings.
That means they had a perfect score and won every bonus point over the course of the weekend. And in the elites for the weekend, it is 30 points for Section 89 in 4th.
In 3rd place we have Just Drag with 31 points.
In 2nd place we have Top and Tails with 38 points. But taking the weekend here at the Sandringham Festival of Carriage Driving and now Horseboarding, it is of course Just Wing It. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all of your support. It's been a fantastic visit to the venue. As I say, we've been here many times, and we are back here again in September for the final of this competition. So we hope to see you then as well, if not at some other venues. And if you're not going to come and see us live, watch us online with our live streams on YouTube, Facebook,
and everything else, all social media platforms. And ladies and gentlemen, if you sitting around the arena have taken any photos or videos and plan to post them on social media, please do tag us at Horseboarding UK. We love to see them. The teams might even share them. We might share them with thousands of followers. So if you have taken any photos or videos from around the arena, please do tag us at Horseboarding UK. And as the teams peel out, please do give them a round of applause, and we will have one last run for the top first place teams.
Yeah, so great. I mean, we saw some fantastic racing.
Amazing racing this weekend.
I know people in the audience may have been shocked and may have thought this is absolutely crazy.
Because it is.
And that's exactly what we thought as well. We have been breathless in here, scared, you might say. And but what a fantastic group of people these are, making their way around Europe. You know, we've raced in Denmark, Holland, Germany, Prague, and we would like to do more of that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again sometime soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
So it's thank you from Dan, and it's thank you from all of us at Horseboarding UK. Have a lovely rest of your weekend.
Well, I don't